Okay, let's do. Okay, let's do a little bit revisit for the. So we have done the equations of motion so far, right? So let's do the question based on the. This was the. Okay, so I think so. This was the average. No, this was not average. Ah, so let's do the question. So uniform, non-uniform acceleration equations of motion we have already done in the last class. Okay, now let's do the graphical representation of the graphs. Graphic, okay, of the motion. Okay. So basically, there are two graphs. We have done two graphs in the motion chapter, right? So first graph is the distance time graph, and basically distance time graph gives you the speed quantity if you take the slope. So what do you mean by slope? Slope is the ratio of y-axis to the x-axis. Am I clear to all of you? Yes or no, everyone? Hanan, how are you? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Good evening,
Okay,
sir.
please switch on. Good evening. Please switch on your video, Hanan. Okay, so so basically slope will give you the speed quantity, right? The first characteristics of the distance time graph is that if the uniform motion is there, uniform speed, the graph would be straight line, right? So it would be a straight line. Clear, everyone? And inclined obliquely to the time axis. Okay. Next is the distance time graph. If it's not a straight line, so that would not be a uniform motion. It means that the speed is not going to be uniform. Am I right, everyone? Acha, please tell me one thing. Acha, I will ask like after this thing. Okay. So if this is next thing is that the slope of the distance time graphs give speed, and steeper the slope, greater will be the value of the magnitude of speed. It means that the more the angle, more it is inclined to the time axis. It means that greater will be the value of the speed. Is this clear to all of you? Hello, Sarah. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes. Walaikum salam, sir. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Sarah, please switch on your video. Okay. I've just started the
Yes,
class.
sir.
Okay. Sure. Great. This is clear to all of you. So these are the basic things about the graph, the distance time graph, right, everyone? Samia, Bharti, Arham, Arhan, Hanan, and Sarah. Okay, sure. That's great. That's great. Okay, tell me, this is a graph, distance time graph. This is a curve. This is not a straight line. I know this thing that it is a non-uniform speed. It means that it is already written, right? Non-uniform speed. It means that speed is not changing. The speed is not constant at every point. Can you tell me, is it still a uniform motion? In the chat, say yes or no only. Is it a uniform motion in any means? Arhan, Samia, Bharti, Arham, Hanan, and Sarah. Is there anyone who is left? No. Check it. So just say yes or no. Okay, okay. Check it. Okay, okay. Okay, Hanan. Everyone, fast. That's a very basic question that I've asked. Okay, okay, Sami. Okay. Sarah, Arham. Okay, Arham gave the answer. Okay, Arham. Hanan. Okay, Hanan also gave the answer. Okay, Sami. Arhan. Sarah.
Hello, sir.
Walaikum salam, Heather. How are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay, that's great. Okay, Heather. So, okay, Heather, I've just started the class and discussed the graphical portion. Okay, the characteristics of graph. I was just asking that this is a graph. In this graph, the basically this line is not straight. It means that the speed is not uniform as it is written. I'm asking that is it still a uniform motion? Uniform motion. It is. Is it still a uniform motion in any means? Please let me know, Heather. Just say yes or no. Okay, Sarah.
Yes, sir.
Check it. Heather, please switch on your video.
Okay, sir. Now I
Okay,
will switch on.
okay. Acha, do you remember this thing? UT plus half 80 square. Do you remember this thing, everyone? This graph is starting from the origin. Yes or no? The starting point is the origin for this graph. It means that the initial velocity will be zero. So it means that this factor is going to be zero, right? Okay.
Yes.
So right now, everyone, right now we have studied the uniformly accelerated motion. It means that the acceleration is constant in every second, right? We have not studied non-uniform acceleration. We have not studied that thing. We have just studied the uniformly accelerated motion. It means that in this remaining quantity, half at square, a is constant. Half is also constant. It is fixed. A is also fixed. Only thing that is changing is the t square. So S is directly proportional to the t square. It means that it is performing a uniformly accelerated motion. I said a uniform motion. So uniform motion could be uniform velocity, uniform speed, or uniform acceleration. I said in any means. I specifically mentioned the word. Yes or no, everyone? I did not. So I was just
Yes.
asking the same thing. So I said that in any means, it means that yes, it is performing a uniformly accelerated motion. It is the graph. I'm not saying this is a uniform speed motion. I didn't say, I'm saying uniformly accelerated motion. In that, acceleration is uniform. Okay, so the graph would be this. So whenever the questions comes in the type of MCQ, that suppose that this graph is given. So they will ask that whether it's uniform accelerations, or they would ask that whether it's uniform velocity, uniform speed, or you can say non-uniform acceleration, but it is a uniform acceleration, non-uniform speed, but uniform acceleration. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubt, anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. So is this clear? Completely clear to all of you? Why it is like, is it a uniform motion? Even still, it's a curve, because the quantity here is distance. So it is changing with the velocity t. Okay. And suppose that I said v is equals to u plus at. In this case, the graph, same graph would be straight line, because time is there. Acceleration is constant, uniform velocity, initial velocity is zero. So velocity is depending on the time only. So it would be a straight line. Clear, everyone? Samia, Bharti, Arham, Arhan, Hanan, Sara, and Heather.
Yes.
Yes,
Chalo,
sir.
okay, that's great. So these are very minor things that could use to trick you in the question, in the exams, right? So these are the things that you have to like remember in every step. Okay, these things should be on your fingertips, right? Clear, everyone? Chalo, that's great. Okay, so now let's talk about the velocity time graph. So velocity time graph basically have two significance. First one is slope, second one is area. When the velocity is uniform, so we are going to find the area. When the velocity is basically non-uniform, it means that it is changing continuously or performing the uniformly accelerated motion. We would be finding the acceleration in that case. Am I clear to all of you?
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Any doubt to anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, so area under the graph would be the distance or displacement in terms of velocity or speed. It depends on the quantity given on the graph, right, everyone? Sure, that's great. Okay. So slope would be nothing but, so if this is a straight line, it means that this is a uniformly accelerated motion, right, everyone? So slope would be v by t. So it's going to be acceleration, right? Because it is starting from zero, so that's why the initial velocity is zero. So v minus u. So v will only be left. So v by t is acceleration, right? And if it's a non-uniform acceleration, right? So it would be a curved line. Is this clear to all of you? Because this is a non-uniform acceleration. The graph for the acceleration here, slope is curved. So it would be a non-uniform acceleration. Is this clear to all of you? Please let me know once, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Does anybody have any doubts so far? Sure, that's great. So, okay. Now let's do some question based on this graph portion. Yeah. Okay, this is the question that you have to solve, everyone. Please solve this question, everyone. I'm giving you 2 minutes because it's a very simple question. You just have to find the velocity at point C. You have to find the acceleration between AB and the acceleration acting on the BC. BC. Straightforward question. है. Let me know the answer in the chat, everyone. Okay. Okay, please solve this until I'm finding some more questions. Okay, Arham. Okay, Arhan. Okay, Bharti. Okay, everyone. So I think so everyone has solved so far. Okay, Sarah. Okay, take care. Let's find out whether you are right or wrong. Okay, Hanan. Anyone left so far? Please let me know, everyone. Okay, Heather, I will basically inform the management. I think so whole chapter, Heather, for you. You have missed the whole chapter for the force. Chalo, theek hai, I'll ask the match. Gravitation classes are going on. Heather, chalo.
Yes, sir.
Check. Okay. Okay, everyone. So please look at okay, look at the screen. So let's solve it together. It's okay. Everyone, please verify it from here. The question is saying that a graph is given to you for a V and T graph. Okay, so we have to first find the velocity of the point at C. Okay, we have to find the velocity at this point and acting the acceleration acting between AB and BC. Okay, so first of all, let's basically join this line with it so that we could easily find out the proper values, right? Like this. So this is BC, right? So at point B, the velocity is going to be 40 meter per second, 40 kilometer per hour, right? So we have to find the velocity at point C. So it means that as you can see this thing after point B, the time, basically the slope of this graph is parallel to the x-axis. It means that the velocity is performing the constant velocity motion, right? It means that it is not changing until the point C arrives. So at the point C, the velocity is 40 kilometer per hour. Is this clear to all of you? Right? चलो that's
Yes.
great.
Yes, sir.
Thumbs up भाई भारती. आज कुछ तूफानी करते हैं. Yeah. चलो that's great. Okay, so it is coming out to be 40 kilometer per hour, right? Second case. Okay, so second case. So as you can see this thing, everyone. So velocity, the initial velocity A to B. Just a second. Is my screen visible to all of you? Just a moment. Actually. Got freezed. I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen visible to all of you? Please let me know, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Chalo, check. That's graph of A to B. Okay. So in this, initial velocity is 20 kilometer per hour. Yes or no? Sorry, 20 kilometer per hour. Right. And at point B, so it is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it's basically each step is of 1 hour, right? So time is given in 1 hour. So it is 1, not 1. So basically it's 3 hours. So it's 0, 1, 2, and 3. So total time interval of this time would be 3 hours. Is this clear to all of you? And the final velocity is 40 kilometer per hour, right? We just need to find the acceleration, right? So acceleration could be found out using the second form, the first equation of motion. Or you could use the slope formula as well. There is no need to worry, right? So both the options are correct, right? So both the methods are correct. We have done the method one using the graph. Okay, you could use the slope formula. That is, slope would be equals to b with the velocity at point B minus velocity at point A divided by the time taken to complete this interval, right? So we can I'll just show you the another method as well. So velocity is 40, 20 plus 3t. So it is coming out to be 20 is equals to 3t. So t would be equals to 20 by 3 hour, right? Or you could write it as 6.67 hour, right, everyone? Okay, another method using the slope method, it could be slope is y-axis divided by x-axis. So it would be velocity of v, b minus velocity of c divided by velocity time taken at it's sorry, it's AB, na? Sorry, my bad. VB minus VA TB minus TA, right? So VB is 40 minus 20 divided by TB is 3. At point A, it's 0. So because it is the starting point of the journey, right? So it would be 20 by 3 hour or 6.67 hour. So both the options are correct. But if you want to solve the graph like this, so you have to mention the each point, right? Graph of A to B, like all the things given, right? So you have to write down the values because you just don't like just wake up and write it the like V equals to U plus AD and then solve it and got the answer, right? That's not the case. You have to solve it properly. Clear everyone? Because teacher wants the exact explanation. The answer could be found out using the various method, but the explanation is required in the CBSE format. Is this clear to all of you? Right?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, that's great. What happened to everyone, like except Bharti, Samya, and Heather? Everyone has switched off the camera. Arham, Sarah, Hanan, Arhan. What happened, everyone? If I don't get the expression of your face, I won't be able to understand whether you're getting my point or not. The whole purpose of this class will go in vain. Right? So please do not switch off the camera while you're in the class. Okay? Is this clear to all of you? It's a humble request to all of you. If you have any other issue like you are traveling or you have internet issue, that's not the case. That's basically an exemption. But if you are there at the home and everything is fine, so you should open your camera. Okay? Sure, that's great. So this is how you will solve it. Third part, let's solve the third part. Right, so question is saying we have to find the acceleration between B and C. So as you can see this thing from the journey, basically the motion starting from point B to C is basically nothing but the straight line, or you can say parallel line to the time axis or x-axis, right? So as I've told you that when the velocity graph is parallel to the time axis, the motion performed by that would be by that body would be uniform velocity motion. Is this clear to all of you? Right? Uniform velocity motion. So there is no acceleration at all, but you have to show that why it is a zero acceleration motion, right? Using the slope method again. Okay? Or you could write the explanation. So because I've checked all the copies like of more like of the revision test, I've seen that like there is a lack of explanation. So you have to work on the explanation part, right? You have to show every step like this. As you can see this thing, everyone, you have to show every step like this. Every step, every calculation step, everything in detail. And one more thing, everyone, please do not write the answer in a paragraph. Write the answer in bullet points. That would be more concise and more accurate because teacher will not teach you like you can say read your whole para because that will waste the time. If you write because and there is a chance that your marks will get deducted in the form of paragraph. But if you write the exams, if you write in the exam with the bullet points, the points are accurate, point to point, crisp, right? So that will increase your marks. And in the para, you have to write almost a half page, but in the bullet point, 3 or 4 points are enough to get the 3 marks. Is this clear to all of you? Which one is better? Which one is good? Better? Bullet point or para? If you want to save your time.
Sir, bullet point.
Bullet points, na? So that will basically save your time, right, everyone? Save your time. It will give you or it will boost your chances to get the full marks. But in para, there is a chance that teacher will say, because in that, teacher has to do some work to find the correct explanation word. So that is the case. So try to avoid the paragraph answer, right? Always write, if it's a 3 marker, write 4 points, enough. 2 marker, 2 or 3 points, enough. Clear? Sure, that's great. Next is graph of B to C. So as you can see this thing, everyone, VB is 40 and VC is also 40. Because I was I was the same student like you that I used to write the paragraphs, but one of my teacher told me that used the bullet point strategy, and after that, my marks were completely changed. I got the, like, if the question was of 3 marker, so I got the 3 marks when I was writing the para. So that is basically takes the time, much more time, and I don't get the answer, like proper, you can say, marks, like 2 marks or 2.5 marks like this. But after the bullet point, marks were completely satisfying. Okay, so I hope you get my point, everyone. And uh time taken is 6 minus 3, because this is 6 minus 3. Interval is this, na? So it is 3 hour, right? So slope would be equals to acceleration, that is VB minus VC divided by T. So that is equals to 40 minus 40 divided by 3. So it is coming out to be 0 by 3. It is coming out to be 0. So just do not write that it would be 0. Show it to the individual, basically checker, examiner, that I know the concept. Why is it 0? Clear, everyone? That's how. It will take not more than a minute if you write it in the exams now, because in that, at that point of time, your mind is basically working so fast, like a bullet train. So it will not take a moment to write it. Right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Is there
Yes.
anyone who is having doubt till now?
No, sir.
Sure, check, that's great. Okay, so I'm just giving you one more question. Okay, so these are like in exams, there could be a question. You have to draw the graph sometimes, but that is a very rare chance, but we don't have to take the risk. Okay, so try this question and let me know, like, try this question at least, and I will draw it for you, verify it from the screen. Everyone clear? Because in the exams there could be a question like draw the graph of a cricket ball like this. It could be anything. So if you get the idea how to draw it, I will explain it, right? So they could, that this concept would be easy for you, how to draw the graph. Clear, everyone? So this is the first. Please let me know the answer for the first and second. Okay, Heather. Okay. Any answer? Is there anyone who...
Should we say what kind of graph we should draw for this?
Hanan, I didn't get your words. Could you please repeat?
Should we tell the answer like what kind
No,
of graph?
no need to tell the answer. I will just write it on, like draw the on the, I draw on the screen, on this basically screen. Just verify it whether you got the right graph or not. Is there
Okay.
anyone who has not done it yet? Heather, Arham, Bharti, Sara, Hanan, Arham, Samya. I think sure. Okay. Samya done? Sure. Could you please show
Yes.
me show the graph?
But I have not drawn the graph.
Why?
But I'm not getting the question.
Acha, you are not getting the question. Chalo, theek hai. Okay. Okay, everyone. So please look at the screen. Let's discuss it together. Okay. So the first question is saying that basically a cricket ball is thrown upwards and it is returning to the hand of the thrower. It means that when you throw a ball in the upward direction, the velocity will decrease or increase. Please tell me this thing first. When you throw a ball in the upward direction, will the velocity decrease or increase? Okay. Anyone else except Sarah? Except Sarah gave the reason, but let me check. Okay, Arham. Samya, Hanan, Arham, oh, Heather, Bharti, Arhan. Okay. Acha, ठीक है, I'm getting one more answer. Okay, Arham. Okay, very good, Arham. Okay. Okay, everyone, please listen very carefully. When you throw a ball in the up, I got one more answer. ठीक है, Hanan. When you throw a ball in the upwards direction, when you okay, so the ball will go in the upward direction. At a certain point, the highest point, the ball will stop. So from initial point to highest point, the ball is going to the speed of the ball is decreasing or increasing. Now think a little bit about the same. The ball speed is going to decrease because at a certain point, at the highest point, the speed is going to decrease. That's why the ball got stopped at the highest point. Otherwise, it have gone into the space, right? Okay. So it means that in the initially, when you throw a ball, you have basically given some initial speed to the ball, but at a certain point, that is the highest point. At that point, the ball will stop, right? So that in that case, let's draw it. Okay. Let's draw it. Like this. Okay. So this is the example. Okay, now let's time axis. This is x-axis, right? This is it's saying it is asking the velocity, right? Velocity. Right. So it means that when you have given the initial speed at a certain point, the ball speed is going to decrease for a limited time. At this is the time at which the velocity will be zero because speed of the ball is continuously decreasing with a uniform rate. One more thing, uniform rate should be there, right, everyone? Right? But after reaching to the highest point, the ball will fall again to the towards the surface of the earth. Yes or no, everyone? So the acceleration due to gravity will work on the ball and it will basically fall and the velocity will again increases when the ball will fall from a height. So the velocity will decrease or increase. Tell me. Is it going to increase or decrease when the ball falls from a height?
So can I repeat the question?
I'm saying, Arhan, that the velocity of the ball or speed of the ball will increase if you throw a ball from a height or if the ball falls from a height. It will increase or decrease? जल्दी से बताओ. It will increase now, because at a certain height, if you drop a ball, the ball will move continuously towards the earth with an acceleration equals to g, acceleration due to gravity. Gravity will work on the ball. That's why the velocity will increase. Yes or no, everyone? So
Yes,
after this point, the velocity will increase with the same rate like this. Okay? This will be the case. Just a second, let's go through it. Yes. So this is how, because initially the ball speed is decreasing. At the highest point, the velocity will be 0. And after that, the ball will increase the velocity due to the acceleration due to gravity falling from height. Is this clear to all of you? So this is for the downward motion. Okay. So whenever you draw this kind of graph, always mention what motion it is representing. So this is for the downwards. Right, downward motion, and this is the upward motion. Right, everyone?
yes, sir.
Is there anyone who is having doubt till now?
No, sir.
All clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, ठीक है. So upward motion and downward motion, right? At this point, the velocity would be 0. Now let's draw the second case. The second case is saying that the trolley is there and it is constantly decreasing the velocity, and just a second, to a uniform velocity, right? Like this. So this is y-axis. This is x-axis. Right. So this is time on the right side increasing. This is velocity again. Right. So the trolley is basically decreasing the speed at a certain point, and it will perform a uniform motion. So uniform motion would be parallel to the principal or the time axis. Is this clear to all of you, yes or no? At a certain, it was decreasing to a certain point, and after that, it has performed the uniform motion, right? Uniform velocity. It should be parallel to the time axis, and it will suddenly increase the speed with a uniform rate. So that would be like this, yes or no, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there anyone who is having doubt in this question?
No, sir.
Clear to all of you?
Yes,
So
sir.
did you get the point how to draw the graphs if the scenario is given to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this could be like this is an NCRT exemplar question. So there could be a chance that your school will give you in this. They will give you this. You can say the graph, right, everyone? Okay. So that's how you will solve it. Is there anyone who is having doubt in any of the graph? Arham, Hanan, Heather, Sarah, Samya, Bharti, Arhan. Sure, that's
Yes.
okay. So who got the right answer in any for the first and second part? Anyone who got the answer right graph? No one.
What is the second?
Second one.
That's the second one. So for anyone for the first part who got the right answer? No one. Chalo, theek hai, bye. Now you got the point. Why is it basically V-shaped graph?
Yes, sir.
You would be thinking that it should be vertical, like inverted V, like the A. Yes or no? You were thinking the same thing? Yeah, I was. I know this thing. So, but that is not the case. Okay, so it should be V, not the inverted V. It should be V. Okay, chalo, that's great. Now let's discuss the uniform circular motion, because in the graph, so these could be the kind of question like not more than that. Okay. Now let's discuss the uniform circular motion and this chapter would be done. Okay. So basically uniform circular motion, we are just going to like in this chapter, only the introduction is there for the uniform circular motion, right everyone? So uniform circular motion is the motion in which the speed is constant, but the direction is changing continuously, right? And the direction is given by the tangent to the point. Tangent means the line touching the circle at a single point only. You will study the tangent in the 10th standard. Right now, only chord is there for the maths for you, right? So, chord, yes, you have only chord. Yes, and there is no. Have you heard the word tangent? Word to the circle, tangent to the circle. Okay, Bharti heard this thing. Anyone else? Heather, Arhan, Arham, Samia, Sara, Anan. No. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. That's a 10th class concept. No need to worry. I'm just asking. ठीक है. So if somebody says that what is the direction of a point in the uniform circular motion, you will say that the tangent to that point will give the direction. Clear? The tangent to that point will give the direction for that. Okay. So when a body moves in a circular path with uniform speed, its motion is called the uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion is an accelerated motion. Can anyone tell me why is it accelerated motion? Can
Because
anyone?
direction is
One
changing.
by one. Yes, Arhan, say it. Yes, yes, go ahead.
Sir,
Arhan?
because direction is changing.
Yes, direction is changing. Yes, absolutely right. Because in the velocity part, we have done one thing, that velocity depends on two factors. Magnitude, it means that speed or direction. If any of the quantity changes, the velocity will change, because velocity is a vector quantity, right? So if velocity is basically speed is constant, direction is changing, that is also a uniformly accelerated motion. If direction is not changing, velocity speed is changing, that is also a accelerated motion. Is this clear to all of you? Because the speed is changing, the magnitude is changing. So in this case, only direction is changing, the speed is constant. The speed is constant, right? So when a body moves along a circular path, then its direction of motion keeps changing continuously. Since velocity changes due to the change in direction, therefore the motion along circular path is said to be accelerated. So that's why in the exams, there could be a question that why uniform circular motion is an accelerated motion, even the speed is constant in that case. You would say that the speed is constant, but the velocity is not constant due to the change in direction at every point, right? And the force which is needed to make the object travel in a circular path is called centripetal force, and the direction of centripetal force is towards the center, towards the radius, basically along the radius. Or the centrifugal force is the force which acts outwards. Centrifugal force is not an actual force, it's just a pseudo force. It means that it does not exist really, it just the influence. Okay, but centripetal force is the actual force that is along the radius towards the center. Clear, everyone? And the artificial satellite. And Hanan, what happened? Do you have any internet issue? None is not there. As artificial satellite, revolution of sun, revolution of moon. Okay, all these things are based on the uniform circular motion. Have you seen that? Have you ever heard this thing that Earth has completed the revolution in 200 days? It's
Yes.
complete, like it's done in 365 days only. It may like it's 365 one and a half, like sorry, 1/4 a day, so somewhat like that. But it's a very, you can say, it's a very exact calculation, right? So it's completed in 365 days if we do not consider the leap year, right? So that's why these motion are said to be the uniformly accelerated motion due to the change in direction at every point. Okay. Artificial satellite moves in the uniform circular motion around the earth. Earth move around the sun in a uniform circular motion. And if you want to calculate the speed in this case, so circumference of the circle, it means that whatever the circumference of that orbit will divided by time will give you the speed. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So there goes. Similar type of question is there, that we have the radius of the cycle is given, the circular track is given 105. Time is 2 minutes. 60. You have to convert it into seconds because it's in meter. So it should be converted into seconds. So speed by time, sorry, distance by time would be 2 pi r, because it has only covered one basically once round. So 2 pi r divided by time. So 2 into 22 by 7, because if pi is given to you as 22 by 7 or 3.14, you have to use it as it is. Whatever the question is asking, okay, it's basically saying, right? If there is nothing mentioned, you can use 3.14 or you can use 22 by 7. Try to use 22 by 7 when the radius is a multiple of 7. As you can see, this thing radius is a multiple of 7. If you divide the 105 by 7, it's nothing but basically 15, right? So you could use the 22 by 7 factor pi value when the radius is the factor of 7. Okay. So and divided by time, it's 20. So ultimately the value of the velocity is coming out to be 5.5 meter per second. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes,
Is
sir.
there anyone who is having doubt till now? Bharti, Sarah, Heather, Hanan, Samya, Arhan, and
No, sir.
yes, itne hai. Clear, everyone?
Yes,
Ekdam
sir.
solid thumbs up. Sure, that's good. Right. Yeah. So this is how, because in this only this is the only type of numerical that could be there in your school exam, because in the uniform circular motion only the definition along with a very simple or basic numerical is given. That is the numerical that is in front of you. It could be a satellite motion. It could be a you can say clock, tick tick clock, right? That is also uniform motion. The second clock is cover the one circumference in 60 seconds only, right? The second clock, second hand, right, everyone? Okay. So a sprinter is running along the circumference of a big sports stadium with constant speed. Which of the following do you think is changing in this case? Direction is changing because it is moving in a circular path. Magnitude of acceleration is produced. That is not changing because it is uniformly accelerated. Distance covered by the sprinter per second. Obviously not, because the question said the velocity is not changing. Speed is not changing. It is constant. So distance covered would be same in each second. Direction in which sprinter is running, obviously direction is changing. Centripetal force, okay, the centripetal force will not change. Okay, it depends on the magnitude of the speed. As speed is not changing, so it will not change, because right now it's in 11th class. The centripetal force formula is F is equals to mv square by r. So velocity is not changing, na, speed is constant, so force will not change. I'm just telling you, you don't have to worry about it. It's in 11th class. When you will go in 11th class, you will study this thing in detail. Okay. So how many of you are going to take science in 11th standard? Bharti. Only Bharti. Okay, Arhan. Okay, Sarah, Heather, Samya. ठीक है, ठीक है. Okay, ठीक. Hanan, which stream you will take in the 11th standard?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, you don't know. Chalo, ठीक है. Heather, you will take science or any other stream? Science. Acha, ठीक. Who wants to be doctor? Okay, Heather wants to be a doctor. Anyone else? Okay, who wants to be an engineer? No one. Acha, Arhan wants to be an engineer. ठीक है, that's great. Anyone else? So, okay, chalo, कोई बात नहीं. So you want to go in research, right? So after taking science, chalo, ठीक है, no worries. That's very good. So doesn't matter which stream you will take. You just have to do to the max potential of yours, right? Whether it's science, arts, or commerce. Clear, everyone? Sure, that's great. And which of the following is not the case of uniform circular motion? Motion of a racing car on a circular track. Because racing car is not performing a motion in a very, like, with a very constant speed. It is in circular motion, but the speed is not constant. Because toy train is the speed is fixed. Motion of hour's hand on the dial clock is also fixed. It completes the 1 hour in 60 minutes only. And motion of earth around the sun is also fixed due to the revolution of earth around the sun. It is clear. So only thing that is not matching, because racing car is a real life scenario, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so racing car is a real life scenario, so it will change the speed according to the situation, right? It will apply the brake, he will apply the brake, or basically he will accelerate with non-uniform you can say rate. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, that's great.
Yes.
Okay, so this chapter is done in the revision phase. The next chapter that we'll study is the force and laws of motion, because like majority of the class is having two chapters. Those who are having the gravitation, they are taking the extra classes for that. Okay, so your gravitation is going along separately. And right now, so in the next class, we will be doing the force and laws of motion. It's a humble request